Hello, my name is Eduardo Hernandez Ferreira. I'll be your Spanish teacher today. We're going to learn the alphabet. Like this channel, subscribe to this channel if you want to continue learning Spanish. Enjoy. Spanish alphabet. El alfabeto español. A. Like the A in father, but shorter. For example, más, nada, casa, pasa, mañana, encantada. Note, in this presentation, all vowels will be circled. A. Repeat after me. A. B. The Spanish B is similar to the English B when initial, pronounced at the beginning of a phrase or after the letters M or N. Bailo con María. El medio ambiente. Hablan bien. Un banco. Bailo con María. Does anybody know what that means? It means I dance with María. El medio ambiente. The environment. Hablan bien. They speak well. Un banco. A bank. It is softer, allowing some air to pass through the lips when intervocalic, located between vowels. No bailo bien. Iberia. No bailo bien. Repeat after me. No bailo bien. Iberia. Note. Also see ve. We're gonna get to that later. Se. The Spanish se has two distinct sounds, depending on its environment, that is, how it is located with respect to certain vowels. The next slide provides more details. Se. Repeat after me. Se. Alright, so se sounds like a K or K before the following three vowels. Casa, copa, cura. Notice it's a K sound. Unlike the English K sound, the hard Spanish se is not aspirated. That is, no air is expelled when it is pronounced. Listen to it again. Casa, cosa, copa, cura. In Spain, the se before e or e is pronounced th. If you hear someone saying cero, circo, that means that person is from Spain. Cero, circo. You may hear someone in Spain say something along the lines of ¿Cómo estás? Cerro. So in Spain, you will hear th for the C before the following two vowels. Cero, circo. Cero, circo. But you don't need to learn it this way unless you go to Spain. Che. Until 1994, che was a separate letter in Spanish, and words that began with this letter were found in a separate che section in the dictionary after the section containing words beginning with se. It is pronounced like the English che. So listen to the sounds. We're not going to focus on the meaning of the words yet because this is your first Spanish class, actually. So say charro, muchacho, chimichanga, chica. Charro. Repeat after me. Charro. Okay. Now say muchacho. Okay. Now say chimichanga, chica. Very good. De. The Spanish de is similar to the English de, but is pronounced with the tongue farther forward against the upper teeth. When initial or after the letters N or L, it is harder. When intervocalic, it is a bit softer, much like the voice the sound in the English word they. Daniel es mi hermano. Repeat after me. Daniel es mi hermano. Buena idea. Andar. Nada. Listen to it again. Daniel es mi hermano. Andar. Buena idea. Nada. E. Like the E in they, but without the Y glide. Es. Mesa. Interesante. Tres. Deporte. México. Okay. Now F. The Spanish F is essentially identical to the English F, F. So it'll be Fernando, teléfono, flan y frente. G. The Spanish G has three distinct sounds, depending on its environment. The next two slides provide more details. G. Okay? So G in gap. Gato, gota, gusto, tengo is a G sound before the following three vowels at the beginning of a phrase or after the letter N. In other cases, such as when intervocalic, the G is softer, somewhat like the G in sugar, before these three vowels, pagar, lago, igual. Okay? The G is like an H in harp, before the following two vowels, gemelo, gitano. H. The H is always completely silent. Hotel, hospital, alcohol, hablo español. Okay? Now the E, like the E in teeth or the E in machine, but shorter. Mi, libro, inteligente. Niño, tímido, rico. J. The J is pronounced in all cases like the soft G, that is, much like an H in English. In some areas, particularly Spain, the J is pronounced more crisply, with a somewhat harsh or guttural sound. José, jarra, hijo, atajo. K. The K is a letter borrowed from Greek and is found only in words borrowed from other languages. The K is not aspirated in Spanish. Kilogramo, karate, whiskey. L. The L is pronounced with the tip of the tongue against the alveolar ridge as in English. However, the tongue is held straight rather than slightly curled. Lotería Lalo Azul is not Lotería Lalo Azul, is Lotería Lalo Azul. Doble L or elle. Until 1994, doble L, like che, was a separate letter in Spanish, and words that began with this letter were listed separately in the dictionary. See the next slide for more information. The L is pronounced like the English yeah, calle, calle. In Spain, it was formerly pronounced as l. And some conservative older speakers still use this pronunciation, calle, calle. We can also mention that in Argentina, they say sh. So if you hear someone saying calle, that person is from Argentina. In most of the countries in Latin America, you can just say calle or calle, and people will completely understand what you're trying to say. M. The M is pronounced essentially like its English counterpart. Mamá, mole, amor, mensaje. N. The N is pronounced very much like its English counterpart. Nada, Elena, Nora, máquina. Before the consonants B, P, and B, the N is pronounced like an M. Un beso, un vaso, un perro. Un beso, un vaso, un perro. And that is probably a rule that it doesn't apply in every single country. Ñ. After the changes to the Spanish alphabet in 1994, the ñ is one letter that still does not appear in the English alphabet. It is pronounced like the ñ combination with the word onion. Similar, I would say. Niño, año, mañana, baño. O, like the O in hope, but without the glide. Mono, perro, yo, no. P. The P is unlike the English P in that the letter is aspirated, that is, a puff of air is expelled after the lips separate. In Spanish, we hold back the air, avoiding the pop that is heard in English. So you can just say Pablo, pata, papá, ropa. It is softer. Now the Q. The Q is always followed by U as in English, except for a few foreign words such as Iraq Although this word can also be spelled Iraq, since the sound of the Q is essentially identical to that of K. Like the P and K sounds, the Q is not aspirated. So you can just say queso, quilate, pequeño, y quién. R. The intervocalic embedded, that is, non-word initial, R, involves a single tap of the tongue against the alveolar ridge. The result is a sound much like the D in the name Eddie. So, Eddie. So, for example, Pero, María, Arena. Okay. R. This was a single letter previous to 1994. With the R or double R, the tongue is positioned just as with the single R, except that it's held there briefly and allowed to flap, creating the rolling effect. Perro, barrio, derrota. Alrededor, en realidad, rosa, rubio. Note, the single R is rolled more like the R, double R, after L and N. When initial the R is rolled exactly like the R. So here it again. And try to repeat after me. Or repeat after me. Perro. Barrio. Derrota. Alrededor. En realidad. S. The S is essentially like the English S in most of the Spanish speaking world. C. Peso. Casa. Sabroso. Very good. We are almost done. T. The T is similar to the English T, except that is, again, more dental. The tongue is brought forward against the upper teeth, much like as with the D. Like the P and K sounds, the T is not aspirated. T, tamal, tito, patata. U, like the U in the name Lulu, but shorter. The important thing to remember about the U is that it has no initial Y sound as in English. When we pronounce the word union, for instance, we actually say union. Leave the Y sound off in Spanish. Unión. Inusual. Universidad. Comunidad. Listen to the words again. Unión. Universidad. Inusual. Comunidad. V, V. In all environments, the V is identical in pronunciation to the B. Voy contigo. Eva. Envidia. Lavar. Since the B and the V sound exactly alike, we often distinguish between them by one of the following methods. B grande, B de burro. B chica, B de vaca. So if you hear someone saying B de burro, they are referring to the B grande or the B. This B. And the B chica or B de vaca is the name of this other B. Ideally, when people teach or when teachers teach these letters in school, they say that the V sounds like the labi dental. So they say that you should say like you do in English, like vaca or V, and then burro. But the reality is that people don't really pronounce them differently. Try to hear people, native speakers, when they pronounce words with these letters. In regular conversations, they will not make a difference, but when they try to explain to you how they are different, they will probably tell you that the sounds are different, but not in the real world. W, V doble, or W. The W is a letter borrowed from English and is found only in words borrowed from other languages. Whiskey, welter, water, closet. See? So it is borrowed from English. X. The X is pretty much as in English. Examen, exacto, auxilio. However, in words that come from indigenous languages, it is like a h when intervocalic. Mexico. Mije. And like an S when initial. Xochimilco. That is from native indigenous languages from Mexico. But if you go to Guatemala or other places, it will sound like a sh. Like, for example, Shela. That would be an exception. So you gotta pretty much learn how the word is said to the country that you are visiting. Y. The Y, when word final, acts as a semi-vowel. That is, it has a sound similar to the vowel E. Voy, re. When word initial or intervocalic, it functions as a consonant and sounds like the Y in English. Ya y rayo. Okay, now la Z. Zeta. The Zeta has two distinct sounds. Depending on geography, the next slide provides more details. In the Americas, zapato. In Spain, zapato. So if you're going to Latin America, or if you're going to learn Spanish to use it in Latin America or Latin American people, you can say zapato. In Spain, zapato. Okay, so there is a difference. And ese es el fin. This is the end. And one more time, we're going to go over the entire alphabet. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, Ch, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, W, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, W, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. If you made it all the way to the end, give yourselves a pat in the back. You did a really good job. Buen trabajo. And keep watching the following videos, and you will learn Spanish in no time. Subscribe to this channel if you like the video. Thank you for watching, and like this video if you liked it. Muchísimas gracias. Que aprendan español. I hope you learn Spanish in an easy way.